You're all being bamboozled. What to do, ladies and dudes? Jabberjaw's in the booth. Vulgar Desperado.
Gentleman Bastard.
Back on the mic to let you know that you're still stupid if you gangbanging over a black samurai. Now, before we get into this video, please hit that like and subscribe. I know you probably won't because a lot of you are not going to like this topic.
Exactly. It's all the form of hate that you can show us, so.
But spread some love if you will and do us a solid. So it's going to be somewhat impromptu, just a double rant here for y'all. And really, the main focus here isn't going to be Yasuke, but it's going to be kind of the springboard of something that I've been noticing, the Gentleman Bastard's been noticing, we've just been kind of like talking about when it comes to a lot of this internet YouTube content. Like, hell, you'll even notice from some of our earlier videos, you know, we definitely dabble in this shit, but we do try to just, I don't know, have our own fucking opinion.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't want to be looking in like through things in a tribalistic lens, right? You know, we
definitely not.
Yeah,
no.
we don't try to, you know, like, okay, well, because it's A or whatever, we're, you know, like other teams bullshit, or it looks woke, or it looks DEI, we're gonna automatically hate it, and we're not gonna automatically love it because it comes from somebody that you like or whatever the fuck, right?
Exactly.
But one thing I've definitely noticed is a lot of people, you know, I guess you could call it pushing their own agenda. It's probably a financial agenda if you ask me. But they're definitely pushing the rage bait, and a lot of you motherfuckers, especially looking at this last video in the comment section, y'all are falling for it, man.
To the utmost. Like, I don't get how you guys can just keep on. You're seeing it. There's facts behind it, but you just want to continuously keep fighting with no ammo. I'm confused right now.
Like, yeah, like you guys are. You know, again, not to bring up Yasuke again, but, you know, the comments and the things that I've heard about this, historical accuracy, it's DEI, they're doing it for agenda, they hate Asians. That one, I think, is the most egregious and most dangerous, because you guys are drinking the fucking Kool-Aid if you're just going to go perpetrate racism to another group or ethnic group by another group that had nothing to do with it, let's be real. But regardless, that's just not happening here. Like,
it's not. You
can't say some racist shit is happening and then go out and do a bunch of racist shit yourself.
Exactly.
Like, and then say you're not racist. You know, you can't say them putting a black samurai is racist and then you go make a buttload of racist memes and then try to defend yourself like we're not racist. We just wanted a historically accurate video game.
It's like, when it comes down to it, how many of these Assassin's Creeds have ever been historically accurate? There's always some element that's in there.
They literally met up for Final Fantasy 15 in Odyssey.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it's dumb to think that a game is going to sit there and not go into a realm of fantasy. That's what it's supposed to do for you.
Exactly.
So considering,
and some of you people think that will take you out of the immersion. It's like, okay, maybe you're in your fucking 20s and you're radicalized by the internet, but anyone who's played Afro Samurai, this isn't a new concept.
Exactly.
All of it's fiction in the end of the day, and if you have that big of a deal with a black samurai, you really do have to look at yourself in the fucking mirror. Like, that's a you problem, bro.
That's a
I
double
won't call
take.
you racist, but maybe you should check yourself. In the end of the day, I do think a lot of you people, again, are radicalized by the internet lately.
Yeah.
You know, I know, we all know. Like I said, you can look at our earlier videos. The woke shit is retarded. We even talked about it, like maybe there was some seeds of it with Billy and Mandy and shit like that. Like, you know, we're not anti, like, you know, hey, there's some funky shit going on in, you know, Hollywood and the gaming industry, whatever. But that being said, like, now it's at a point of just blind rage, racism, and anger, and you guys don't give shit a chance, and you hate everything, and it's kind of embarrassing, you know? Like,
it is. Like, we're supposed to all be Americans, right? Isn't that the whole entire fact? Like, we can't just all get along based on, or love something based on American culture.
And even in that American sense, it's like, you know, we live in a capitalistic society,
exactly.
Right? However you want to try to make your money, you should be able to, except for, like, prostitution and shit like that. Murder, you know? But, like, you can go make your money, but you guys are like, man, it's gonna fail because there's a black guy in it. Like, bruh,
like instantly, just because one of us are there, we have to fail bail right away. Like, thanks. That's why we don't have all of these extra subscribes from you people. Like, when it comes down to it, exactly. So, let's just end all of that stupid type of thought processing and just go back to what it's supposed to really be about.
Like,
having fun in this game, enjoying what we're gonna go to and everything. I know a lot of people have waited for this to be going to Japan.
Sure.
So after that fact, like, why are we mad at what the main characters are gonna be?
I mean, bro, like, in the end of the day, there's definitely a lot of Japanese people that have voiced their opinion and they don't give a fuck. And even if there are some that do care, like, okay, well, are you mad that it's like starring a Japanese woman and not a Japanese man? Maybe that's your own beef. And again, I understand if you're like a young blood, you know what I'm saying? But I think this game is rated M, so you shouldn't be playing this if you're 12.
Exactly.
But you know, I can understand it even in my teen years. You know, you want to feel some kind of kindred feeling, sure. But is it that big of a deal when Ghost of Tsushima was like the biggest game a couple years back?
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you care that much. And I saw it was like an IGN article. I might have to pull it up, but it was like, you know, it's like, hey, don't stop acting like you care about Asian representation when there's like shit tons of Asian games out there. Like, we're always samurais. It's not that like, so you really do have to like question people's motives, because maybe you're not racist, maybe you're not a bigot or whatever, and you really are just so lost in this culture war that you don't even know that you're basically coming off as racist. There was one dude in these comments that literally said, "Oh, the Asian girl, she doesn't look Japanese." I was like, bro, you just said that all Japanese people look like. Like you just said, like, you just told on yourself, bro.
Exactly.
Like, you know, and the rest of you, oh, well, Yasuke was a server, he should be serving. All right, so you just want this nigga to be a slave?
Yeah, 24/7.
Like fantasies is not okay. Like, bro, he ain't even rebelling. Like, you know, it's like, all right, we're not even in America, bro.
No,
like, you
whole
know,
different country,
like,
living on a whole island, isolated by itself, but we're still mad
like,
that the nigga gotta be a slave.
There are plenty of Japanese videos and people talk about Yasuke and they're like, yo, you know, he has a high honor. He was higher ranked than most Japanese people in that time. And he was a server, and he was right next to the highest nigga in.
Exactly.
Like, and even if you think that's somehow disrespectful, you're kind of retarded to the culture. Don't come in here talking about, oh, I know Japanese history and blah, 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 and then disrespect the fact that they had him at a high rank. Like, you don't even, like, get it. Well, he wasn't technically okay, but that's where the fiction comes in.
Yep.
And again, I mean, this being a good example, Miles Morales being maybe even a better example, you know, and unfortunately these do resolve around black people, but there's all these other ones too, you know, like whether it is like, you know, some of these shitty Disney movies and stuff like that, like some of this stuff doesn't matter that much. Like after, you know, like you're like 10 years deep in on this YouTube streets and you've been listening to motherfuckers talk like this, like eventually you just kind of learn to do your own thing.
Yep.
You know, if anything, you should be buying old media, buying DVDs, because, you know, you can't get a lot of things and streaming is not always guaranteed. Y'all should know that. Buy old books, you know.
They always repeat different shit or try and take away the stuff that does.
They'll take it off, put it on a different strike, and then like bring it back a month later.
So it's just like, it doesn't make sense. Like, keep your own media. You'd be a lot safer with what you have. And
like,
I think everybody would appreciate all of the shit then instead of constantly binging it, watching it in a day. And it's like, well, I didn't even watch the whole story. I got the half because you watched it all in a fucking day. Like, spread it out, make it like it used to be. Like, hey, you had to watch it like once a night at least.
I mean, at least, like, listen, maybe most adults probably operate in that like manner just based off of timing, working and stuff like that. Young people, it's a little bit different. Y'all need to go to school, do something. Like, I don't know. But like, you know, at the same time, like, you know, I think if anything that what people should have learned in this like culture war and everything is to like spend your money where you want to. Like, you know, you can't spend all these years and being accused of being racist just to start acting racist and to become that. You can't be the thing that you said you were not. Like, and I've seen memes like, well, I wasn't racist before until all this DEI, and you're like, nigga, some cartoons made you racist? That's sad.
That makes
You're
no
a pathetic
damn
soul.
sense.
You're retarded.
That's a Jedi mind trick working on you real strongly. Bro. Like, come on, like, now.
A lot of y'all just like don't understand. Like, again, like none of this shit matters. You should, like, again, spend your money where you want to. Enjoy the stuff that you do. Don't think everything's the like. Listen, you may or may not like Miles Morales, Spider-Man, whatever. But that movie, the second one in particular, was a good movie. But there are people out there. Well, I'm not watching it because it had a little bit of propaganda. Okay, ask yourself this. what other movies and video games that you played back in the day had some propaganda that you might consider propaganda that you enjoyed, right? There's a new article going on, Yasuke is gonna be gay. Well, okay, you actually read it. She never confirms it. She just says that all the people are going to be able to have relationships, and some people will like you and some people don't.
Yeah.
So, just like, I don't know, every fucking almost RPG in the last 30 years, you can have dating sim options in here. Oh, I don't know, just like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you can have dating sim options where you can date a man or a woman. If you played a game that had that factor, whether it was Assassin's Creed or not, and you could optionally date a man, and you enjoyed that game, but you didn't date a man, you dated a woman, but it was an option, then you're part of the problem now, you dumbasses.
Exactly.
Oh, you like Baldur's Gate? Okay, but you can fuck bears in that. Oh,
yeah,
I didn't fuck the
weird
bear,
shit.
but that was okay.
But it's an option, right?
Black Samurai. like, yo. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you like anime, bro, there's all kinds of gay people, trannies, traps, whatever, and now you're mad at it? Listen, bro, I'm not sitting here
Shit
like,
doesn't make sense.
You know, I just think you sound like a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's
you
been
can't,
part of it
even
the
if
entire
you don't
time.
like it, thank you.
Yeah.
Part of it the whole time.
If you've been doing anything, any type of 90s medias and all that stuff, it's been part of it
if
the
you watch
entire
lesbian
time.
porn, you're a hypocrite, bro.
Exactly.
Like, we just have to keep it a brick. And, like, I think that's the problem. You guys are becoming hypocrites where it's like, you don't even realize, like, again, Miles being another example. Like, I was reading, again, via old media. I'm reading Omnibuses. I'm reading Final Crisis right now. And I realized, like, there's a third Mr. Miracle. I only thought there was one. And he was black. And I was like, wait a sec. I thought Mr. Miracle was white. Had to look it up. There was a third one. Okay, so you're telling me that people swap mantles and shit like that back in the early 2000s, and now it's a big deal?
Exactly.
Like, don't get me wrong. When I think around that time was probably when, because I think Miles was 2010, and I think that comic might have been 2008, so it's arguably around the same time. Again, the point being is not that big of a deal. Nobody complained about Black Nick Fury when Nick Fury was originally white, but in the Ultimate Universe, where Miles showed up, then it became a problem. Then it cooled down, and then he got a movie, and niggas lost their mind.
Everybody, yeah, it's just going in on
and
one.
I'm real. I was not a Miles fan in the beginning, but I switched my tune on that. Why? Because it was a good movie. It was fucking enjoyable.
It makes you like the character.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. To get you to like the character, to like their story. It doesn't matter what color they are, all of that stuff, and going across the entire Spider-Verse, you see that. They're everywhere. It's every single faction, every single color of it.
It's just a good time. Like, I mean, you know, I don't think a lot of these people also realize the marketing side of it, bro. Like, you can sit there and try to, you know, quote unquote, appeal to just solely white men, but, you know, we can't act like, you know, like they get you. Here's the thing. Everyone sounds very, very two-faced when you complain about representation and then say representation doesn't matter. Yeah. You're going to sit there and say, well, we don't, you know, representation shouldn't matter. But then when they do put a black guy in a place where an Asian man could go, now you're all about representation. You sound two-faced. You also sound retarded when you talk about this as white erasure. Here's the thing. If you can't go and explain this to normal people in a normal setting, you're gonna sound like a fucking man that walks around in a tinfoil hat, which you might be. And here's the real reality. We all know that there's weird propaganda-ish things in Hollywood. That ain't new. That's been Hollywood.
Been there forever.
But, you know, when you're out there saying that, you know, like some crazy shit, and I might even pull up some memes on it, bro, but I'll just explain one. Back when Mr. and Mrs. Smith came out, they were literally trying to say that was white erasure because Childish Gambino Donald Glover got the rights for the TV show and starred himself, who's a talented everything.
Exactly.
and with an Asian woman. And they're like, see, they're erasing us. And you're just like, bro.
It's a story.
It's a story. It's a movie.
It's supposed to be built around good people who are going to portray the character.
Exactly. Who
That's
cares?
it.
And it's not even remotely even like outside of that they're spies like the movie at all. Which, mind you, is another remake of another movie. So new people play it. Like, here's the thing when it comes to a lot of this racist bullshit, when it comes to race swaps and stuff, like, right? If you're okay with it in your high school setting, like if you went to school and your kid was in a play and the black girl was Juliet and the Asian boy was Romeo, would you start saying this is cultural appropriation, racist, blah, blah, blah? Would you say the same shit that you're saying on the internet? No, you wouldn't.
No. It's like, I'm sorry, you got people who are playing a part. and it doesn't matter what they look like and all that, just because it was written here, it was made there, it's supposed to be based there.
Exactly.
If the character fits, the character fits.
Right. And here's the thing: some of these stories are just going to be like that. They're just going to do a little revisionist history. Why? Because they're trying to reach a broader audience, man.
Exactly.
You know, people do want to see themselves on the screen, and that's
you want
nothing
to be
wrong
creative
with that.
your storytelling. You want to be able to reach a bunch of people and stuff, and that means that you're going to make it a little bit more how you want it to be.
Exactly.
It's not going to be based
we
on...
all know that these creators in the last several years have fucked up with their audiences by going off and saying, well, you're a racist for not liking it, you're a bigot for not liking it. But now you guys are kind of proving that point, and that's the problem.
Yep.
Don't become what you fucking hated.
You advocated against it, and now you're for it. Now, come on now, don't backstep. That's the whole thing. We're trying to progress, not to sit here and regress onto all of the stupid shit that we've already should have been past.
Exactly. Like, we've already passed this stuff, and now you guys are showing your ass, and I don't know if it's just a new crop of mofos out here, or you're just brainwashed by the same fucking YouTubers that peddle the same bullshit hate, and then you're stuck, in an endless loop. And then you come over to other people's channels and you're just like confused because you're like, yo, here's a normal opinion. But like, that's the sad reality. It's like, y'all have lost the plot. Like, we know when it's woke and bad, but when it's not, you can't be coming out the same way. I don't give a fuck if the game ends up being woke. We're not at that point right now.
Exactly.
They could make him gay. You could have the option to make him gay. It's a black guy in there. It could be DEI. It also could not be DEI. In the end of the day, you don't really fucking know. And none of these people have come out the gate saying, oh, you people are this, that, and that. And you guys are doing a lot of speculative theory on this shit. And it's sad because it's like, yo, you are looking real fucking weak, son. Like, a lot of people are looking weird, really, really weird on a lot of... And not just Yasuke, but a lot of these topics nowadays. It's getting bad. And maybe this is a sign that the culture war is ending. In my opinion,
we can be hopeful.
This
it can finally come to an end with all of this because it's fizzling out, but it's becoming really bad right at the fizzle.
Like,
you guys are just like, it's a total regress to where anything you thought that you were trying to defend, you're all against it now. Like,
right, and maybe that will set things in a weird back to normal where, the radicals of whatever this side are like the villains or some shit again because, racism wasn't good.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, and now we're like, you have a lot of people that are like the damn near segregation police. Like, you guys are mad if you see like an interracial couple or something, like you see a black person or a brown person in a role that might be, a white person could have, but it's like, okay, well, why can't the other person have it?
Yeah.
And there's no reason for that. You can, like, that's the thing. Like, you can try to justify it, but then it's like, again, with Miles. Okay, well, it's been done before in comics. It's not that big of a deal. Yasuke, well, he's his own character. It's like a real person. It doesn't seem that out of pocket. But you guys have lost the plot. So, honestly, I mean, this is going to be a lot longer than I wanted it to be. Chill out.
Plain and simple.
Like, just chill
Plain
out.
and simple. It's not that bad.
Yeah,
like,
guys,
come on
just
now.
realize, like, look, we'll talk about something woke again, maybe.
Yeah,
like, hey, this was a bad idea from the studio, but I mean, really, like, just don't care, man. Like, go touch grass, as they always say, but go lavish in the old school stuff and enjoy that shit. You don't have to keep looking forward to things failing. Like, that is something that you don't have to do. Be excited. Like, we guys are talking about this game, but like, none of y'all played Final Fantasy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a black guy in there, not Japanese, it's not Japanese setting, it's Midgar, but, like...
Still, like the entire fact is, there's people there, all facets are sitting there and shown in Final Fantasy, and you guys aren't trying to advocate that being a great-ass game for anything. You didn't even want to play it.
There's, like, great diversity there, and it's like, but now it's like, oh, well, it's not accurate enough. Well, but he was there. In real life, it really happened. Barrett is probably somewhat based off of Yasuke. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who really knows in the end of the day? But in the end, like, y'all just need to just chill. Like, like, and speaking of Final Fantasy, y'all should be on the high of that, but y'all are on to the next high of hate.
Exactly.
And
go play some Stellar Blade. Calm your fucking tits, okay?
Stellar Blade just, unlock more outfits. Y'all niggas should be
the
happy.
nano suits are the shit. All right?
We were just talking about how that was all kind of grimy with them, with the censorship. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. We're rambling. Chill out. Love life. Stop being racist.
Touch the damn grass.
Touch grass. Or look in the mirror. Go correct yourself. Because if you feel this strongly about black people, you must not be a football, basketball, or I don't know, a majority of sports fan. You must be just like a couple of people in golf. You know, black people are here. Get used to it. I don't know what else to tell you, my nigga, but chill the fuck out. Jabba Jaws in the booth. Vulgar Desperado.
Gentleman Bastard.
Catch you on the next one.
We out.
Peace.